Welcome everyone again to this amazing Java course and lecture. So in the previous lectures we had learned about what data types are and what variables were, and now we are getting more deep and deep into our Java concepts. So in today's lecture our main topic would be operators. Our main topic for the day would be operators. So before starting off with this topic, let us quickly revise what we had done. So in the previous lectures, we had learned about data types, the different types of data types that we have. We have integer, decimal, right? And we have character, we have string, we have primitive, non-primitive, all of that. We had learned about what keywords were, what tokens were, and we have done a lot of deep dive, and we have understood about all the facts and figures that were there into each module. So now when we talk about operators, we have all been using operators in our day-to-day life, right? In our day-to-day life. Let us take an example. Okay? But before taking an example, let us understand what operators definition is. So operators is something which help you to do or perform a certain operations, right? To do or perform a certain operations. Now, what it simply means let us see. This is my calculator. Okay, we all know what a calculator it is. It looks like this, and then you have all those functions here, right? And you have all those functions here also, and here you'll have an equal to sign. And here is your numbers, right? Here you have your numbers. Now, if I want to do an operation that is 2 and 3, okay, and what operation I want to do is, let's say I want to add both my operands. So I'm going to use what? I'm going to use plus, right? So what are you going to do in this calculator is you'll take 2, you'll take 3, but before taking 3 you'll use an operation that is addition. You'll take an operation or operator that is addition, and then you'll fulfill this operation and make it what? 5, right? And you'll get an output displayed as 5. So if I need to sum it, what basically operators do is it helps two operands to do a certain task or perform a certain operation. So we have operand, then we have operator, right? We have operand and then we have operator, and then again we have an operand. So what is my operand here? It's, let's say anything, let's say A. My operator is B, plus, let's say, sorry. And then my operand, another operand is B. So here what I am doing is I am saying, take these two operands and perform a certain operation. What is that certain operation? It's the addition. So this is what an operator is basically. Now we have multiple types of operators. We have ternary operator, arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, and we'll be going through each and every in detail. Okay, each and every operators in detail. But before that, let us also understand one thing. Since I said what is an operator, it's a symbol, or you can say it's a symbol that helps to perform a certain operation. So always remember, apart from unary operator, all the other operators that you'll be using, or the symbols that you'll be using, will have two operands. For example, let us say we have A plus B minus C. Okay, so in this particular operation, if you see, I have two operators, correct? I have two operators, but I have three operands. So my addition is an operator for which operations? For A and B, right? For two operands, A and B. And my minus operator is for which operands? B and C. So if you see here, this B, right? Here this B is performing single-handedly two operations. Now that is what an operator is. So always remember, apart from unary operator, right, every operator will have two operands. Fine? Perfect. So now we can move ahead. So now we'll get into more detail. Of different types of operators. So now we all know what an operator is, what it does. It's a symbol, right? It's a symbol. Operator is nothing but a symbol. Now what kind of symbol it is, we will see now. Okay, what kind of symbol it is, we will see now. So let us first divide operators into its different formats. What are the different types of operators that we have? Right? What are the different types of operators that we have? So the first one is nothing but, we call it arithmetic. We call it arithmetic operators. Okay, we call it arithmetic operators. Now what arithmetic operator is all about? It's all about addition, subtraction, multiplication and all. Don't worry, we'll go through each and every operator, in detail, okay? Let me just give you the types of operators that we have. Next, we have unary operator. Okay, so as I said, that unary operator is the only operator which has a single operand and the operators. So we write it in this format, as in, let's say we have a variable called a. So a plus plus or minus minus a is something like my unary operator. Okay. Then the third one, we have logical operator. We have the logical operator. So in the logical operator, what do we have? We have and we have or. Right? We have and we have or. We have logical and we have logical or. So that is the symbol. This is the and symbol and this is the logical symbol. Logical or symbol, single slash. Don't worry, we will go in depth of that as well. Then we have the relational operators. So basically, relation operators means the relationship each operand should have with each other. For example, greater to, less than, okay, like greater than equal to, less than equal to, and all of that comes under relational operators. Next, we have ternary operator. So we symbolize ternary operator with a question mark and double dot. We symbolize ternary operator with a question mark and a double dot. Don't worry, I'll explain you in detail in the next lectures. Next, we have assignment operator. Assignment operator is nothing but assignment of a value to a different, variable is like an assignment operator. That is equal to is an assignment operator, right? We have plus, equal to, and many more. Now, next we have shift operator. And last but not the least, we have bitwise operator. So these are the 8 operators that we have in Java, code Java, that you need to learn and understand. So we have the arithmetic operator, we have the unary operator, we have the logical operator, we have relational operators, we have ternary operator, assignment operator, shift operator, and bitwise operator. Don't worry, shift and bitwise, I'll show you what it is with an example and you'll understand. Although we'll be using shift and bitwise later, quite later into our course, not in the basic parts, okay? But until the basic parts, the 6 operators, the first 6 operators are very, very important for all of you to understand. The first 6 operators are very, very important for all of you to understand. So now let us get more deeper and let us understand each operator in a different manner or in a deeper manner. Okay, so now let's get a little more deep into each and every operator that I've been talking about. And the different types of operator that we have seen, we'll talk about each operator in depth. Okay, so to start off with, let us first talk about unary operator. So as I said, and I have been saying this, like, right, unary operator is the only operator which only requires one operand, right? And I've shown you an example like a plus plus or minus minus a, right? Now let us understand what is unary operator, what is the concept of unary operator. Okay, please be with me in this session, and you'll understand each thing and every detail. And actually this unary operator is very, very, very important for all of you to understand, because in the coming lectures when we'll be understanding the conditional statements, the flow control statements, so in that section we'll be using unary operator a lot. And if you don't understand what unary operator is, it will become difficult. So let us go and understand what unary operator is. Okay, so unary operator is divided into two forms, two types. The first one is postfix. What is it? The first one is postfix, and the second one is prefix. So we have two. We have postfix and we have prefix. Okay, now let us understand what is postfix and what is prefix. Let us differentiate. So let us get into the postfix section first. But before getting it, always remember one thing, that whenever we talk about this word post and whenever we talk about this word pre, right? So by the terms itself we understand post means something later on and pre means something before, right? So let us say I have two operands in both the cases. So here I am talking about my unary operator, that is postfix, right? So post means after the variable, whatever the variable it is, after that you add two symbols, as in like a plus plus or a minus minus. That is like post fixture, postfix. Okay, and when we talk about prefix, it's like before calling your variable, you add and you can subtract as well. So if you see here what is happening, after writing the name of that variable, what are you doing? You are adding or you are subtracting or using the unary operator. Let us make it that way right now. And here first you are adding and subtracting and then using the or calling the variable. So this is one basic difference between postfix and prefix. Now you might be confused right now seeing this a plus plus, a minus minus, plus plus a, minus minus a. Now don't get confused and understand the concept, okay? So whenever we say a plus plus, what we are doing? We are incrementing the value of a by 1. A minus minus, we are decrementing the value of a by 1. So what is the value that you are incrementing and decrementing? That is 1, and it will always be 1 in unary operator. Always remember, the double symbol means you are increasing the value of this particular variable by 1, decreasing the value of this variable by 1. Here also it's the same, a plus plus a, incrementing the value of this operator by 1, and minus minus a, you are decrementing the value of the operator by 1. So you might ask me now, if both the cases we are doing the same thing, why do we write in front and why do we write behind? What is the use of writing it that way? So there is a very important logic behind it. Please understand. So let us say, let me just bring it this way. Yeah, we have a problem. Let us say x is equal to a plus 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 a minus minus plus minus minus a or minus plus plus a. Okay, let us say this is our statement, and here let us say that our a is equal to 10. Okay, let me just make it int here as well so that you understand. So what happens in postfix, first whatever value your variable is holding is executed, and then the increment or the decrement is done. What is done? First, the value is executed. Whatever value it has is executed. First value is executed, then increment or decrement is done. INC is increment, DEC is decrement. Okay. So first here the value is executed and then the increment or decrement is done. But in prefix, first the increment or decrement is done and only then the value is executed. Let us see this example and you will understand what I am trying to say. So in this example, what we want to print x, right? We want to print x or execute x, and we have said x, let int x be equal to a plus 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 a minus minus plus minus minus a minus plus plus a. Okay, so using 4 unary operators and 4 operands here. Okay, and we have already initialized the value of a by 10. We have initialized the value of a by 10. Now what do we do in postfix? First value is executed, right? So this is postfix, a plus plus, or a plus plus is postfix, correct? So what is going to happen here? First the value will be executed. So what is the value that a has? It is 10. Now since the value has been executed, now the value of a will increase. Now how much a will become? A will become 11. Now actual value of a will become 11 and 11 will be stored in a variable. But here still 10 will be executed because first we are executing the value here and then only we are doing the increment and decrement. Now again in the next section what are we doing? We are adding. We are adding what? We are adding a minus minus. So as I again said in postfix, first the value is executed and then the increment or decrement is done. Now since here we have incremented a, so a was 10, we executed a, then we incremented with the operator. So a become how much here? Here a became 11, correct? The value of a became after incrementing and decrementing, it became 11. So here first the value will be executed, that is 11, and the increment or decrement will be taken place. So now after increment or decrement our value is again back to 10, right? Our value is again back to 10, but here we'll be using 11. Now again we are adding what? Minus minus a. We are adding minus minus a. Now in prefix what is happening? First the increment or decrement is done and then the value is executed, right? First the increment or decrement is done and then the value is executed. So here what is my value? A has been 10 after decrementing here, right? So if I come to this section, it will again decrement the value of a. So a was 10, it will make it 9, right? It will make it 9 and 9 will be stored in a. So now here I will be directly using 9. You get my point? And in the next section we are subtracting it with what? Plus plus a. So my a was 9 and it got incremented first and then the value is executed. So now it became 10. So if you see your output should be 20. This and this will cancel, okay, and plus 11 plus 9 is 20. So you get an output of 20 here. So this is all about postfix, prefix, okay, and unary operators. Don't worry, let me again show you an example and you will be clear with the concept. So let us now discuss about the example, okay, for unary operator. Example for unary, okay, for unary operator. Okay, let us say we have int x is equals to 5, okay, y is equals to 10 and z is equal to 20. Okay, we have int xyz, and then we have int a. We have just initialized it and given no value to my variable a. Now a is equal to, okay, a is equal to x plus plus, okay, it's equal to x plus 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 minus minus y plus z minus 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 plus plus a, okay, sorry, not a, plus plus x and minus 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 y, okay. Let's make it plus plus y minus plus plus y. So let us execute this together, okay. So what do we have? We have one postfix, one prefix, then another postfix, another prefix, and another prefix, right? So if you see here, what happens in postfix? First the value is executed and then the increment or decrement is done. So what value does my x holds? My x holds 5. So it will take 5 here first. Okay, it will take 5 here, and now the value, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create a table here. I'll create a table here. Let's say x, y, and z. So it becomes easier for you to understand. So in my first line, what is happening? I'm using the value x as 5, and then I'm incrementing. So after using 5, my value of x is 6. Okay, my value of x is 6. So let's make it in an arrow format so that you understand. Now we go to plus. We add what? Minus minus y. Minus minus y. So first we decrement, and then first we do the decrement, and then we'll utilize the value. So my y is 10, so it will become how much? It will become 9. So from 10 we have shifted it to 9, and here we used, here we are using 5 because it's postfix. Here we are using 9 because it is prefix. Then we again add. We have z minus minus. Since I said z minus minus, it's a postfix. So first we'll be using the value, and only increment or decrement will be done. So we have used 20, and after decrementing, next time if you use this z, you'll be using 19. Okay, you'll be using 19. So currently you have used 20, and again you have plus plus x. Okay, again you have plus plus x. So what is the value of x for me right now? After incrementing here, it became 6, right? So 6 plus plus, that is 7. So my x here would be 7. It was 5 here. After 5 we incremented, right? We made it 6. Here when you use it, your x will become 6, and before that you are incrementing. So 6, what you will do, increment and make it 7, and that's why you are using 7. So next time you are using your x, it is incrementing from 6 to 7, and you are using 7. Now we have what? We have again minus plus plus y. So here y was 9, and again what you are doing, you are incrementing the value of y, and then using it. So again our y will become 10. What will y become? It will become 10. So this is something that is gonna be used. So you have to understand the difference between prefix and postfix. Okay, that is very important. So here if you see, right here if you see, you have 20 plus 9, 29, 29 plus 5 is 34. So now you all know what unary operator is, and we are good to go for the next topic. So yes, we all know now what unary operator is basically, what it does, the postfix, the prefix, and most importantly what you need to understand is the difference, in postfix, as I mentioned it, right? First we do the, we execute the variable, and then we do the increment or decrement. And in case of prefix, we first do the increment and decrement, and then we do the, execution of the variable. So now let's move on to the next operator, next type of operator, that is arithmetic operator. Okay, so let's move on to arithmetic operators. What is an arithmetic operator? In simple terms, if I need to tell you, all those that you do, right, that we have learned in our childhood, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all of that are arithmetical operators which uses arithmetical, calculations, right, which uses arithmetical calculations. Those are our arithmetical operators: plus, minus, right, multiplication, division, and we have another very important arithmetical operator here called modulus. Okay, so we'll understand each in detail. Let us say I have taken two variables, int a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 5. Okay, now let us do int x. Okay, so I'll take again, let's say five different variables: x, y, z. Okay, or let's make it x1, x2, x3, x4. That will be easier. x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. Okay, let's say these are our variables in which we'll be taking values, and a and b is our operands that will be used with the help of that operators. So let's say x1 is equal to x2, x3, x4 and x5. Okay, so x1, what are we doing? A plus b, and here we are doing a minus b. Okay, in x3 what we are doing is a multiplied by b, and x4 we are doing a divided by b, and x5 we are doing a modulus b. Okay, so let us say these are our 5 operations that we need to do. Okay, we have these 5 operations that we need to do, and now let us see what the output will be, and you'll understand it easily. Okay, so we all know this is for comments. We'll be coming to that section as well. So we have a and b, and we are using this additional operator. Okay, we are using this addition operator, which basically means whatever operands is in front of it, and after it we are just trying to add both and create an operation. So for us here, a and b is adding itself and getting stored where? It's getting stored in x1. So what is going to be the value of x1 if I print it? The value of x1 would be equal to 10 plus 5, that is 15. My x1 will store a value 15 because I'm adding both the operands, right? Both the values. Now, in case of our x2, what are we doing? We are subtracting. A operand 1 with operand 2, that is b. We are subtracting the value that operand a stores or variable a stores with what the variable b stores. So when you do this operation, your x2 will store a value 5 because 10 minus 5 is 5. Now in x3, what are we doing? We are multiplying a and b. We are doing the multiplication of a and b. So if 10 multiplied by 5, what we get in x3? We get 50. Similarly, in x2, what are we doing? We are dividing, right? What are we doing? We are dividing. So 10 divided by 2, what do you get? You get 2. So here your x4 will store 2. 10 divided by 5 is 2, right? Now let's come to the part of modulus. Now let us understand what does modulus do. Modulus directly takes out the remainder that is left in your variables or your operation. Okay, for let us example say the same variable. Let us do the division. Okay, let us do the division. So let's say we have 10 here, and we are dividing it by which? We are dividing it by 5, right? So 5 into 2 is 10, and we have 0 here. So what is the remainder here? Yes, since as all of you can see, this 0 is my remainder, right? So here in case of x5, we will get an answer 0. Now let us say if I'm changing the value Okay, if I'm changing the value of b and making it 6, okay, I'm changing the value of b and I'm making it 6. Okay, now what will be the scenario? Here in x1 I'll have 16, right? In x1 I'll have 16. In x2 what will I have? You are right, we will have 4, right? In x3 we will have 60, right? x3 we will have 60, and since 10 is not divisible by 6, right? 10 is not divisible by 6, and since it's an integer, it'll take the nearest integer only. We'll be talking about this concept in the coming lectures. I'll tell you how it is done exactly, few detailed concept, but here understand it'll take it in integers. So here your x4 would be 1. Okay, now let's come to x5. So if I divide 10 by 6, what am I getting here? I'm getting here 1, right? I'm getting here 1, and what am I getting here? Here I have 1. So if I get 1, I'll divide it by 6, right? And I'm leaving a remainder 4. What am I doing? I'm leaving a remainder 4. And then, we add a 0 here and we put a decimal, and that's how we do the division. But right now, since it's an integer and not in decimal, we will not do that. What are we going to do? We'll leave it like this only. So here 4 will be my x5 value. The remainder that is left, 4, is the value of my x5. So this is what basically modulus do. And these are all the arithmetical, operations that we get with the help of arithmetical operators. Okay, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. So always remember that. Okay, now we can move forward to the other type of operators. Now let us talk about the relational operators. What we'll be talking about? Relational operators. What do we mean by relational operators? The term itself means that there should be a relation, right? There should be a relation between the two operands. There should be a good relation between the two operands. Excuse me. And yeah, when I say that there should be a relationship, here we are basically checking the relationship that the two have. Okay, we are just checking the relationship that the two have. So in relational operators, we generally, when we are using the relational operators, what we do is we basically use it into, the conditional statements, or, we use it into the looping statements, as in we more oftenly use it into conditional statements like if, we have switch case, and we have, for loop and while loop and all of that. So those section, when we'll be going those section, we'll be using these more, and you'll be understanding all of these better. Until then, I'll just give you a synopsis whatever we have into the relational operators. So we have greater to, we have less than, okay, we have greater than equal to, less than equal to, okay, greater than equal to, less than equal to, we have double equal to, okay, and we have not equal to. Okay, so whenever I'm saying all of these, basically here let us say that we have taken two variables, a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 5. Okay, we have two variables, a is 10 and b is 5. So here if I use the first one, we are indicating a relationship that a should be greater than b. Okay, or we can also say a should be greater than equal to b, right? Or else we can say a should be less than b, or we can say a should be less than equal to b, or we can say a is equal to b, or a is not equal to b. Okay, so these are the situations that can occur when you're using the relational operators, and these are basically used into the conditional statements to check and transfer the flow of control. If yes, it is bigger, or if it is smaller, you can actually prove it. Okay, so if a is bigger than b, then execute these statements. If it is not, then leave it. something of that sort, right? We'll be learning that when we'll be going into the conditional statements. But these are conditions that we're talking about. These are conditions that we're talking about, where we are indicating A should be greater than B. And if A is greater than B, then we are doing that particular task. Then we are performing that particular task. Okay. So that's how we move forward with the relation operators. Here we are checking A should be greater than, equal to B. Either it should be greater or either it should be equal to B. Here we are saying A should be less than B. Okay. Here we are saying A should be less than or equal to B. In this double equal to section, if you see, equal to is nothing but it compares both the values where it's equal or not. It will compare both the values whether it is equal or not. If the values are equal, then this will move forward. Okay. And in this section where you have the exclamation mark and is equal to, that basically means not equal to. So here it's checking that A should not be equal to B. If A is equal to B, then that's a different scenario. If it is not equal to B, then you can move ahead. Okay, do the operations or do whatever the code demands. So in this case, if A is 10, right, we are specifying A is greater than B. Yes, right. 10 is greater than 5. Then whatever will be inside this block or after this, that will be executed. A should be greater than or equal to B. Yes, 10 is greater than or equal to B. This condition is also getting satisfied. A should be less than B. Is that condition getting satisfied? No. A should be less than equal to B. It's not getting satisfied. Then we have A equal to B. Is 10 equal to 5? No. And A should not be equal to B. So here we are specifying, yes, A is not equal to B, and then we can move forward. So this is all about your relational, operators, where you create a relationship between the two operators and check the relationship with each other, right? The two operands are checking the relationship and are giving them a condition, right? You're giving them a condition. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then we are going to do the set of instructions or the set of codes. So this is all about, relational operators. Now we move forward to the next type of an operator. Now we'll be talking about logical operators. We'll be talking about logical operator. Logical operator is also one of very important operators that we will be using similarly in conditional statements very much. Okay, and just not that, other programs also where we'll be using it, right? And it's very important. So basically it's of two types. Okay, we have logical and we have logical or. Okay, we have logical and we have logical or. Now when I say and or, there is one important concept that you have to understand. Okay, there is one important concept that you have to understand, right? So let us first symbolize both. So in logical and we use double and. Okay, we use double and in logical or we use double single line. Okay, slash, single slash line, we use it. Okay, so this is logical and that is logical or. Now what we do, we check two values or we check and compare. Okay, we check and compare two conditions. Okay, let us say an example. I have A is greater than B and. Okay, A is equal to B. Okay, now when I say this and, this is my logical operation that I'm using. This is my logical operation that I'm using. Okay, I'll just simultaneously make the same problem here. Okay, or A equal to B. So what I'm trying to say, I've given two conditions. Okay, I've given two conditions, and here also I've given two conditions, and I'm just trying to compare both the conditions using what? Using my logical and logical or operators. Now, what does logical and say? Logical and says both, okay, both the conditions should satisfy. So it basically, returns in true and false. Okay, it returns in true and false most of the time if you're checking the conditions. So in this case, if this condition is true and if this condition is true, if both the conditions are true, only then logical AND will return true. If either of the condition is not satisfied or not, good enough, then it'll give you false. So in this, it says this condition should also be true and this condition should also be true. Okay, which simply means A should be greater than B also and A should be equal to B also. If both the condition is satisfied, only then it will take you to the statement block or it will execute the code. If any of the condition is not satisfied, it will come out of the loop. Okay, now in logical OR, what do we say? In logical OR, we say either of the two state conditions, any one of the two conditions should be true and then it will return true. So if this is true and this is false, that will always give me my output. It will come true only. The condition that the statement in this block will execute it as true and it will go inside my statement block. So when we'll be using a lot of conditional statements like in if, nested if else, so in that scenario we'll be using a lot of AND and OR operators, like properly and OR operators. All you need to know for now is, in simple words, here, okay, both the conditions should be true. Only then it will give you an output as true. Here any one of the condition should be true and only then you will get an output. So let us see this in a tabular format and you'll understand it better. So now let me show you the tabular format for the logical operator and you're good to go. Okay, you are good to go. So let us say that this is my table. Okay, this is my table and here is my 4 blocks. Okay, this is my condition 1. Okay, just a second. This is my condition 1. Okay, and this is my condition 2. Okay, this is my condition 2. And let us say the maximum output a 2 combination can give you is what? Either this condition can be true and this condition can be true. This can be true and this can be false, right? This can be false and this can be true, and this can be false and this can be false, right? So let us check the output in the AND operator. Okay, in the AND operator, what happens? If both the condition is true, only then it will return true. Okay, if either of the condition is false, it will return false. So in this case, only the first, where both the conditions are true, I'm getting an output as true, else all my section is false. And let us check the OR operator also. Okay, in my OR operator, if either of the condition is true, it will give you true, right? It will give you true. If again either of the condition is true, it will give you true. If either of the condition is true, it will be true, and if both fails, it will be false. Okay, so basically this means if both the condition is satisfied, only then this will move ahead with the block. If either of the condition is false or both are false, then it will not execute that statement block anyhow. And here it is saying that any 3, if it is true, in all the 3 scenarios, if since here it's true, true and true, if either of the 2 conditions is true, okay, then it can be true. So these are few operators that you need to understand and learn, because these are something that we'll be using in our further lectures. Okay, these are something that we'll be using in our further lectures, and that's how we'll be moving ahead. Thank you so much for joining this lecture. In the next lecture, we will wind up the operators section, all the remaining 3 operators, okay, quickly, and then we'll move ahead with programming. Thank you so much for joining this lecture. I'll see you in the next lecture now. Now we'll start on with the leftover operators that we have. Although it will not be used much, but still it's a little bit important for you to know what it is. Okay, so for that we'll be continuing now and we'll be understanding the the 4 that was the operators that was left. We'll be quickly winding up that, and then we'll be moving forward with our practice set of few questions, and we'll do those things together. So here is the leftover 4 operators. So let's quickly recall what are those 4. We had to do the ternary operator, we had to do the shift operator, right? We had to do the bitwise operator, right? And last but not the least, the assignment operator. Okay, so these are the operators that were left, and now we'll get into each of this in detail. Okay, so we'll start off with shift operator first. So in Java we have many shift operators. We have left shift operator. This is called the left shift operator. We have the right shift operator, and we have again 3 right shift operators. So we'll understand first these 2, and then I'll tell you what is the difference between these 2. Okay, first we'll learn about the left shift and the right shift. So whenever we do the left shift, what are we doing here is basically we are shifting the bits. Okay, we are shifting the bits of that code into some with the number how much you want to shift, and that is decided by the shift operator. It decides how much bits you are shifting your code or your data into. So for that we require shift operator. How are you going to do it? Let us see. So let us first see Java shift left shift operator. Java left shift operator. I'm just writing OP. That's not operation, that's operator for us right now. Okay, now let us say I have system dot out dot print. Okay, I have system dot out dot print, and here I'm putting, let's say, 10, and I'm giving the left shift operator, and I'm keeping here 2. Okay, I'm keeping here 2. So what I'm trying to do here, what I'm indicating it to do. Okay, so basically when I say this, I'm trying to indicate it as that I have to shift the bits with this much size, this much bits you have to shift where? Towards the left hand side. Okay, so how will this calculate is, what this will do is this will take 10, multiply it by 2. Okay, to the power 2, and 2 shifts, that is why this 2 is here. Okay, so this will always be 2, this 2 will always remain there, whatever values are there. So what is your answer going to be? Your answer is going to be 10 multiplied by 2 to the power 2. What is 2 to the power 2? We all know it is 4, right? It is 4, and 10 multiplied by 4, how much we get? We get 40. So this is how you indicate your left shift operator. Okay, this is how you indicate your left shift operator. Let us say another example. If I am writing SOP, okay, let us say 20 left shift 3. Okay, 20 left shift 3. So what I am indicating, okay, 20 multiplied by 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 3. So this will sum up to 20 multiplied by 2 into 2 into 2. So what is 2 into 2 into 2? We know it is 8. So 2 into 2 is 4, and in 4 into 2 is 8. So 2 to the power 3 is always 8. We all know that. So what we are doing, we are just multiplying 20 by 8. And 20 multiplied by 8 is nothing but 160. Right? So here we are telling shift towards the left bit by 160. So this is how you do the left shift operation. This is how you do the left shift operations or operations. You know, we call it operations. And now let's move on to the right shift operations. Now we'll be talking about the Java right shift operator. Java. Okay, let's make it this way. Just a second. Sorry guys. Java right shift operators. I'm just gonna write again OP. Okay, so what is right shift operator? This is right shift operator, right? Perfect. Let us say we have again same example, system dot out dot print, okay, and in bracket we have 10, okay, but here we are trying to shift it towards the right hand side. So how much? 2. Okay, so let us see what this basically means. Okay, so previously in the left shift operators, what was happening, you were shifting it toward the left side, and now what are you calculating? The value you are calculating by multiplying it, correct? Here you will divide it. So what are you going to do? 10 divided by 2 to the power 2. Okay, 10 divided by 2 to the power 2. So that makes 10 divided by 4, which is in integer. If you see, it is 2. You need not check it into the decimal. You'll just check it into the integer, and that's why it is okay, let me make that again, write it again, 2. Yeah, so this is how you check your right shift operators. What you do, you multiply, you make 10 divided by 2 to the power 2. And how came this 2 came here? Because it has 2 shifts here. Okay, it has 2 shifts here. So this is all about right shift and left shift. Now let us understand the difference between two different types of right shifts. Okay, this and triple this. Okay, so in case of this, if we had, I'll just write SOP, please understand, 10, okay, this and let's say 2, okay, and in this case also if we have SOP 10 towards your right hand side, 2, the output for both is gonna be, you know, the same. The output for both is gonna be the same. So 10 divided by, okay, 10 divided by 2 to the power 2, and here also it's going to take the same thing. So you might ask me, then what is the difference? You might ask me, what is the difference? Right. So when we talk about the difference, if you take a negative value, in case of negative value, what is happening? Minus 10, okay, and 2 right shifts, or let's make it this way, minus 10 divided by 2 to the power 2. So minus 10 divided by 4 will give you minus 2, right? Will give you minus 2. But in this case, you will not get this value. In this case, it converts the negative value to the MSB parity. It's microaccessibility parity. So in this case, what basically happens is this will give a whole number integer, something of any random whole number, big numbers. So this will directly convert it into this. If there is a negative, if there is positive, it's going to be the same as it was in the right shift. But if it has a negative number, if you have a negative number here, this will make it into a whole new positive number. Okay, this will not be a negative, as this is negative. So this is the basic difference between 2 right shift and 3 right shift operators. Okay, so now we are clear with what shift operator is and what it does, and we are good to go for the next topic. Okay, so now we have the bitwise operator. Okay, we have the bitwise. In bitwise, we generally focus into two. There are 3. Okay, we have bitwise OR, we have bitwise exclusive OR, we have bitwise AND. Okay, how it is symbolized? It's simply symbolized as, I'll just use the 2 ones, single AND and single OR. This is bitwise AND. and this is bitwise OR. Okay, now the functionality is same as the logical and logical OR. It checks the condition and all the rules for both is going to be the same in case of and in case of OR. Now again you might ask me, then what is the difference, why it was need to create bitwise operator. So in this case what happened, in your AND operator, in your AND logical and logical OR operator, what happens? Okay, let us take a condition and let's understand. Okay, I'll take the condition here. Let us say I have A greater than B and B less than C. Okay, say I have three variables and I'm checking if A is greater than B and C is also greater than B. Okay, now in this case what does my double AND operator do? It will check the first condition. Okay, double AND will just check the first condition. If it is false, it will not move ahead and check the second one. It will directly print false. But in case of in case of my bitwise AND, first it will just check bitwise. Okay, it will check bitwise, and secondly what it will do is it will check both the conditions. It will just not check one condition, it will check both the conditions. So that's one major difference. And in OR also the functionality is same, but the difference is that in OR also it will check the first condition. Okay, if it is false, it will then go to the next condition. If it is true, okay, if it is true, it will not go to the second operation, it will just print true. Similarly in OR operator, in logical OR, in logical OR what happens is it will check the first condition. If it is false, then it will go to the other one. If the first one is true, it will still check both the conditions. Okay, so that is one basic difference between bitwise and bitwise OR. Rest everything is same, it just checks the condition. But yeah, if you are having bigger values, don't take bitwise and OR. Rather than bitwise and OR, go with logical and logical OR. That's why I said we basically generally use logical and logical OR. Okay, so we are good to go for the next topic. Now let's talk about a very important operator, that is ternary operator. What is ternary operator? So basically ternary operator has a question mark and a colon, right? A question mark and a full colon. So what does ternary operator mean? So I'll give you a general syntax first. GS is nothing but general syntax. So we have one condition. We have a condition. Then we use a question mark. Then what we do? We use question mark. And then we have statement or a block or whatever it is, statement or line 1. Then we have semicolon and we have statement 2. Okay, we have statement 1 and statement 2. So what do we mean basically here is looking at the condition, if the condition is satisfied, if it is true, if the condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed. Whatever the statement that you are putting in front will be executed. If the condition is not satisfied or false, then automatically the second statement will be executed. It will jump statement 1 and directly go to statement 2. Now this is what ternary operator is all about. This is what ternary operator is all about. If your condition 1 is true, then this will be executed, else this will be executed. So I'll give you a small example and you'll understand it better. Okay. So here our example goes like, let us say I want to check if a person is eligible to vote or not. So let us say int a is equal to 23. Let's say 23 is your age. Okay, this is your age. Let's make it age. Let the variable be age. Okay, int age is 23. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a ternary operator here. Okay, now in ternary operator what we do, we put the condition first, right? So what is my condition? My condition should be age. If age, okay, is greater than or equal to what? 18. If your age is greater than or equal to 18, then question mark, then guys, I'm again using the shortcut SOP, that is nothing but system.out.print. Okay, inside this I'll write eligible to vote. Okay, eligible to vote. Then I have the semicolon here, and then comes the second statement. I'm going to write the second statement here, but make sure it's after this full colon. So I don't have space in my board, so I'm going to write it here, or I'll just make it here only. Let us see. And the second statement is not eligible. Okay, next statement is not eligible. So this is my ternary operator. So first it will check int age 23. Okay, 23. Is 23 greater than equal to 18? Yes. So since my condition is satisfied, it will directly jump into the first statement and print eligible to vote. Now let us say if my age is 15. Okay, if my age is 15, okay, let us say first if age is 23, then it's true. So if my age is 15 now, is 15 greater than equal to 18? No, it is not. So it will directly jump into not. If my condition is failed or dissatisfied, it will directly jump to not eligible when my age is 15. So this is all about your ternary operator. This is how you can use the power of ternary operator. If you want two things directly, yes or no, you can use the ternary operator. Okay, so let's move on to the last operator that we have. Okay, so let us move to the last operator that we have, that is assignment operator. So the first assignment operator that you need to know is very simple, that is equal to, right? It's not equal to is something we call it. It is an assignment operator in computer language, in Java. What we do, if suppose you have 10 here and you have a here, you are assigning this value 10 to what? This variable. So whatever operator you have on the left hand side, you are assigning the value to that variable with the help of what? With the help of assignment operator, that is equal to. Okay, so the first assignment operator that you need to know is equal to. Now apart from that, we have many other assignment operators. Let me quickly let you know. So other one is, let's say a plus equal to let's say 10. Okay, a plus equal to 10, and here the value of my a is 5. Okay, value of my a is 5. So what am I doing here basically? If I write, or if you see something like this, understand that this is an assignment operator which is equivalent to what? A is equals to a plus 10. Okay, a is equals to a plus 10. So what are you doing? You're rewriting the value of a and storing again in a. Okay, so in this case, if I do SOP a, okay, wait, SOP a, what will I get? If I do SOP a, I'll get, this is my 5, right, at the beginning, plus 10. 5 plus 10 is 15, and 15 is gonna get stored in my variable a, and if I print here, I'll get 15. You can do the same similar case with a multiplied okay, equal to 10 or any other variables. This is simply but nothing but a is equals to a into 10. Okay, if you have a minus equal to 5, okay, this is nothing but a is equals to a minus 5. Okay, if you have a plus equal to b, this is nothing but a is equals to a plus b. Okay, you can use this in the modulus, in the division, in the multiplication, any operator, and you will get the same result, and that's how you can calculate it. So this is all about the assignment operator, and you are now good to go with the operator section. And now I'm going to see you in the next topic.